Salute to all the real ones out there. It's your boy Mike coming at you again with another video. Y'all like the content I've been dropping in the direction of my channel is headed in. I need you to like, comment, subscribe, and share the videos with anybody else you think may benefit from them, alright? Now, I want to already excuse the sound quality because I'm in the truck headed to work, and I'm realizing that this is like the only time that I could crank out to make these videos. So bear with me. I'm gonna do my best to make sure that it doesn't annoy your ear too much, but this is gonna be one of many videos in a series entitled Midnight Marauder. Okay, and in these videos under the Midnight Marauder title, what we're gonna do is we're gonna freestyle some of the stuff that's automatically coming to my mind that I haven't had the time to actually put into like a structure on a script. So this first of many is going to be entitled Sweat is Nature's Cologne. All right, sweat is nature's cologne. And everyone can smell it, you know. This channel is aimed at young men because at this current day and time, I'm 40 years old. And there were many instances in my life where I came across individuals who, for whatever reason, resonated with me. And there might have been a 10, 15, 20-year age gap. And there were things that they dropped on me as jewels of wisdom that I really wanted to apply, because I seen from my perspective that this older gentleman is living on par with things that I visualize for myself. Whether it be the cool older guy that got a nice car, or maybe he has a dope relationship, maybe he's doing well for himself financially, and he was able to chop it up with me, and often I would hear, "You remind me of me when I was younger." So now I'm at that age where I'm the older guy who can bestow wisdom upon the younger generation. That's what this is all about when I make these videos. It's not to go viral. It's not to hit y'all with any clickbait. It's to actually drop wisdom. So if anybody younger comes across my channel and wants to get some knowledge, they'll have a lot from my channel. So that's neither here nor there. The reason why I say that nature is, or cologne, sweat is nature's cologne, and everyone can smell it, is because when you work out or do anything physically engaging and you sweat, you give off pheromones that actually are very attractive to the opposite sex and even same sex, because they can respect the discipline that you have to work out to the point where your body actually starts to cool itself off. And you have to understand that we're in a time where everything is so comfortable that the average person doesn't sweat throughout a whole week, even though they physically get up and go to a 9-to-5 or whatever way they make money. If you look at the average person, they have a very sedentary lifestyle. So if you go up and beyond, above and beyond the average person in the crowd, and you go to, let's say, the gym and work out a sweat, yeah, you're going to be attractive, not just to women, but children and other men are also going to show you a lot of respect. It's something that you don't have to communicate verbally. Just you walking into a room and having an erect spine, good posture, strong forearms, veins coming out of your hands and your arms and stuff like this. A prominent chest, a protruding pec muscles, and let's say a athletic, agile, like athletic frame. All of this is going to help you gain the respect and admiration of people that usually just resonate with you automatically. I'm saying this as a 40-year-old who, I'm 6'1", 185. So if you look at the height weight charts and BMI, I'm literally like right on the ideal standard. And I feel great, if I'm just being honest. Not to toot my own horn, but today was workout number 186 out of the year. Anybody who's following my channel, you know that my goal has always been 3 times a week at least. That's 156 times a year, coming out to about 13 times a month. If I'm already at 186 and we haven't even got to the middle of October, I'm bound to be over 200 by the time the year closes. So that covers me for all those, times that maybe I was under the quota. If y'all remember back in like 2022, 2023, I can't remember exactly, but I actually had a pinched nerve in my shoulder, and I was unable to do all those workouts that I intend. So it's like now that I'm in a good space, I'm able to cover myself. But the reason why I'm talking about how sweat is nature's cologne, we're in a time that most people are once again lazy. I train with the Army, and oftentimes when I look at soldiers compared to how they were when I was in, it's mind-blowing to me to see that guys have soft bodies, meaning that if I squeeze their arm, it's similar to a loaf of bread. I know if we come out of our shirts, there aren't many guys who have even like visible abs. So this means that their diet is off. Even though they're in the Army and they're supposed to work out 5 times a week, it's insane to me to see that many soldiers are just out of shape. So that's a telling sign of where we are as a society, where it's more often than not that you're going to come across somebody who is not in shape. Hence why sweat is nature's cologne. You over here working out, taking care of yourself, eating right, and you go to the bank. The teller who assists you is going to respect you and have admiration, whether they're male or female. I'm not saying this is a golden rule across the board. I'm just speaking in general. From my own 2 eyes, I could just tell you that the more I work on myself, especially with physical fitness, the more other people seem to resonate with me, automatically give me that respect, seem to want to chop it up with me longer than I'm willing to hold the conversation. Like, it just makes people roll out the red carpet for you. And I think it's on a subconscious level. Because anybody who's in shape, when they come across you, it's obvious without you having to do much investigation that person has some level of discipline and respect for themselves. Because fitness is a form of self-love. It really is, because when you think about the idea of going to the gym, you're intentionally suffering. And this is a video reference from one that I made maybe back in 2020, where I talked about intentional suffering. The decision to go and intentionally put yourself through pain, discomfort, where you sweat, maybe have soreness days later, you have to go through the tightness of your muscles, you maybe need to do yoga like I do in order to loosen up your body. It's not always going to feel good, but in a weird way, the pain is a purifier. Okay? If I wake up and I hit the gym and my muscles are tight, that's nothing more than a sign that I've actually used my muscles. And nature dictates that if you don't use it, you lose it. So somewhere it feels good when I stretch and I feel that tightness, that pain, because by the time the stretch is complete, I actually feel much better. But I wouldn't have if I would have stayed in my bed and just laid there comfortably and thought to myself, man, I'm going to take it easy for the next 2-3 days because I'm sore. It's like, yeah, you're sore because you're using your muscle. But when you stretch, you're actually allowing that muscle to gain more blood flow, reduce that lactic acid. You see what I mean? I just feel fitness is one of the core pillars that every man should have in his tool belt. It should be something that you incorporate as a lifestyle, not just to see one particular goal. It is who you are. And through the habit of repetition, like doing it over and over and over and over, it becomes ingrained in who you are as a person. And I really, truly think that sweat is nature's cologne. I'm a married man. I don't have any intention on stepping out, playing my wife. Like, I love what we built over the years. And I'm very much looking forward to us coming back together so that we can launch into this next chapter of life. But I use our distance, her absence, as motivation to step myself up across the board as a man. And that's physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. You know? I imagine what it's like to be a woman who has a man that just gets comfortable. He lets his body fall off. He lets his physical appearance fall off. He's always just chilling in a period of stagnation because he thinks, I have the woman, so I'm good. Who am I trying to impress? I always thought that mentality it just opens the back door for human nature to creep in. Not just female nature, but human nature. We as humans are paradoxical. So when you actually are single, you wish you had a special someone in your life. But then you get the special someone and it's easy to take them for granted. That is human nature. But how do you combat that? You understand that fitness is self-love. You taking care of yourself, always pushing the envelope to challenge yourself physically, it's going to result in your body looking like a warrior. You're going to have strong legs, strong upper body. You're going to have a tight core. You're going to be feeling good about yourself when it's time for you to go on vacation and come out of your shirt. You're going to feel better in your clothes. Your sex will be better. Your sleeping habits will be better. Your appetite will be curbed. All of these things are beneficial to not only you, but your partner by default, because they're the one who is closest to you. So I really don't see how somebody can go without incorporating fitness. And when you think about the fact that sweat is nature's cologne, everywhere you go, people are going to smell that and pick up on that energy from you. Like, in this day and time, I already confirmed this with ChatGPT. If you are in shape, you work out consistently, you actually are coming to the standard of what it means to be like ideal for your height and weight, and you're just disciplined, you will literally be in the top 10% of men on the whole entire planet. The next time you're out, I don't know, at the grocery store or at an event, I just want you to scan the room and tally up how many guys look like they work out. This is a good thought experiment for you to do, to confirm that what I'm saying is not based on some type of empirical evidence, but just use your own skills of observation to tell me if I'm right or wrong with what I'm telling you here. Sweat is nature's cologne, and you owe it to yourself to be in the best shape that you can be in. You get one life, you have one body. 98% of communication is nonverbal. So how you stand, walk into a room, the tonality of your voice, the sparkle in your eye, you know, the firmness of your handshake, whether you slash your shoulders or whether you actually have your shoulders back and your chin up. All of these things communicate. And what do you want to actually tell the world about yourself? How do you want to enter a room and have people think about you? I mean, it's not like that's the main goal for anybody that's listening to my channel. I don't want you to really care about what other people think. But I'd be foolish to tell you that as humans, we're social animals in that it won't impact you a little bit if everybody thinks about you in a negative way. I'm not saying you should care, but I also know that it's just one of those things that's a double-edged sword. If you care too much about what people think, of course, you're always going to be navigating your ship based on what other people say and influence you to do. But just keep in mind that we are social animals. So doesn't it feel good to work out, take care of yourself, walk into a room and know that people probably automatically rank you a little bit higher in their brain because they know that you have self-discipline in a world where everybody is aimless? Why not belong to the top 10%, 5%, 1% of men? Shouldn't that be your aim? Or are you just content? I don't understand why you would just be content. Like, nature even tells you. Nature shows you the strong survive. So why wouldn't I want to be part of the strong? Look at any animal that's actually out and about. That's one of the best ones, obviously, because he was able, or it was able, to avoid being eaten by a predator for the time being. It didn't succumb to some type of injury or sickness. The strong survive. So why not belong to the strong? These are just my thoughts. I truly think that sweat is nature's cologne, and everyone can smell it. Children look at you and they feel like, wow, like that's a guy that I want to be like. Women look at you, and even if they don't lust after you, they probably just respect, wow, finally a nice, clean-cut, well-to-do man that's actually in shape. Subconsciously, instinctively, she's going to resonate with you more. Other men see you and they immediately rank you higher in their brain as someone that they will want to have on their team, or someone that they're glad to do business with, or someone that they're happy to tackle a project with, because they know you can hold up your end. You can carry your own weight. There are literally no drawbacks to incorporating fitness as a pillar into your life. And once again, you are a spirit with a body. And everything is connected. You cannot neglect the body and have the sharpest mind. You have to focus on all aspects of self-development. And let me change that language. You don't have to. There's no gun to your head. You can do whatever the hell you want. But if you're listening to my channel, there's a reason why you're here. You know your higher self is always pushing you to actualize across the board. And fitness is one of the things you cannot leave off to the wayside and level up in all the other categories with the same amount of momentum. Keep your mind, body, spirit sharp, strong, capable, and always push your limits. How will you know what you're truly capable of if you're not even willing to physically test yourself? I already made the video called "The Obstacle is the Path." The days that I don't feel like getting out of bed because it's so comfortable and warm, I'm nice and snug, got my pillow, I'm in the perfect position. But when that alarm goes off, no, there are no snooze buttons getting hit. Get up, get moving, hit the gym, hit it hard. Of course, you might be able to take it a little bit easier on certain days when you got to listen to your body. But overall, there's a compounding effect to strengthening your body through discipline. And the world will respect you for it. If you're a single guy and you want to get a nice woman, become the man that woman will be happy to have. Also, vice versa. If you're a woman and you want the top tier man, like, you got to think about what a top tier man would want, and you have to become that, so that it's more realistic that a guy who is in that status will look over and take you as a viable option. So I'm gonna leave it on that note. Sweat is nature's cologne, and everybody can smell it. So why not belong to the camp of men who are going to get up, work out, push their body, and by doing so also increase their mental capabilities? The world needs more men who identify with these principles.